Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Today's topic is what? Acute pancreatitis is important, not only from exam point of view, it is also important for clinical side. When you go to surgery again, this thing will be asked. It is a abdominal emergency, acute emergency. Now, what is the? I have already talked to you about pancreatic carcinoma, that is ductal carcinoma, acinar carcinoma. Ductal can be of so many types, starting from adenocarcinoma to adenosquamous, giant cell, microcoliad, all those things, and complication of pancreatic carcinoma, that is obstruction of the gut, that is duodenum and stomach, and obstructive jaundice, in which the gallbladder enlarged and it is painless jaundice. So all those things I talked to you. Now today is a topic is acute pancreatitis, etiopathogenesis, morphology and complication. Now what is the pancreas means? The Greek word pan is all, krias means flesh, all flesh. Its weight anatomy you will be taught 100 gram, head portion 2/3 body and tail 1/3 cushion. It has got exocrine gland as well as endocrine gland, and it secretes digestive enzyme, insulin and glucagon. It lies in the first part of duodenum in that loop. This is the pancreas, this is spleen, this is duodenum, this is a gallbladder from the here. So when there is obstruction here, the bile duct, this gallbladder in the. This is a aorta and this is superior mesenteric. This is a pancreas cut open, this is a duodenum, this is a common bile duct, this is a bile duct, this is a pancreatic duct, both open on the ampulla better, and this is a gallbladder, that is biliary tissue. Now, exocrine organ, it secretes 2 to 2.5 liters a day of secretion. That is a bicarbonate rich enzymes, trypsin, chymotrypsin, aminopeptidase, elastase, amylase, and lipase. These are important because when we talk about acute pancreatitis, these enzymes will cause the damage to the pancreas. 80 to 85% are acini, 20 different enzymes, duct, secrete bicarbonate, connective tissue 10%. Now coming to the etiology of acute pancreatitis, there are 4-5 groups of the causes. First is metabolic. Alcoholism is a very important cause. Those who are chronic alcoholic or they have a alcoholic being, they are very prone to acute pancreatitis. Hyperlipidemia, hyperlipoproteinemia, that is increase in triglyceride and cholesterol, all those things. Hyperlipoproteinemia, hypercalcemia, increase in calcium, drugs, thiazide, diuretics, there are plenty of drugs, and a genetic predisposition. So these are the metabolic causes: alcoholism, hyperlipoproteinemia or hyperlipidemia, whatever you want to call it. Hypercalcemia, drugs like thiazide, diuretics, genetics. Why I have written only one drug? Because you cannot remember everything. So at least remember one example. So these are the metabolic causes of acute pancreatitis. Then we go to mechanical. Mechanical means there is a trauma to the pancreas, like an accident. A gallstone which is a blocking. Actually, this is the another most important cause of acute pancreatitis. Gallstone. Alcohol and gallstone, I'll tell you, they form 80% or more than cases of acute pancreatitis. So, trauma, gallstone, iatrogenic injury. This is cystic fibrosis. This is not cystic something cyst. It is cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a disease in which the sodium chloride channel is abnormal. So there is secretion, this bile secretion and pancreatic secretion will be very thick. So they will block the gland. will cause, that is mechanical blockage of the secretion. So this is cystic fibrosis. I think it didn't come when I was typing. So don't write only cystic, write cystic fibrosis. Iatrogenic, when there is some medical procedure being done like ERCP and all, when we are trying to dilate the common bile duct or remove a stone from the bile duct or from the sphincter of Woody. So that is iatrogenic, but caused by doctors. Perioperative injury to the pancreas, any operation in the abdomen, and there is injury to pancreas, it will lead to the acute pancreas. Then all those endoscopic procedure with dye injection and all that in common bile duct. So these are the mechanical causes. Most important cause is gallstone. Gallstone. In the metabolic, most important cause is alcoholism. So these are mechanical causes. You should know some of them. And then third is vascular causes. Any shock. When there is hypertension, there is a lack of blood supply. So there is ischemia and there is necrosis. So that will lead to acute pancreatitis. Then atherosclerosis is blockage of the blood vessels of the pancreas, supplying pancreas by thrombus, atherosclerosis. And then polyarteritis nodosa is inflammation of the arteries. And polyarteritis, when you come to the cardiovascular system, we'll be talking about this. Polyarteritis nodosa, there is a inflammation of the blood vessel, and there is a narrowing, and there is thrombus formation, so there is blockage of the blood supply. So these are the vascular causes: shock, atherosclerosis, polyarteritis nodosa. Then fourth cause is infections. It can be viral infection like mumps, Coxsackie virus, mycoplasma, bacterial infection, or fifth cause is idiopathic, when we do not know the cause. And most of these idiopathic cases will be some stone which has passed. So we don't see the stone, but it has caused acute pancreatitis, but it has passed into from the common bile duct to the duodenum. So 10 to 15 cases are idiopathic, of which many of them are because of stones. And stone has passed to the GIT. So there is no stone when the acute pancreatitis is there, but that was the precipitating factor. So these are the 5 groups of the causes: metabolic, mechanical, vascular, infection, and idiopathic. So these are the 5 groups of causes of acute pancreatitis. In metabolic, alcohol is the most important. In mechanical, it is this stones, bile stones. In vascular, ischemia, thromboembolism, and then polyarteritis nodosa. Infections, mainly viral, mumps, Coxsackie, mycoplasma, pneumonia. And fifth group is idiopathic. So you should remember this 5 groups of etiological causes of acute pancreatitis. Now you see what is the most, see etiology of acute pancreatitis. This has been depicted in this diagram. Alcohol, and if you take alcohol and gallstone, see they form the bulk of 80% or more cases of acute pancreatitis. Remaining are idiopathic, that I told you, 5 to 10%. And then others, which is very minor percentage, that is drugs, that thiazide, infectious agent, that is viral, hyperlipidemia, metabolic, hypercalcemia, then ductal obstruction due to other causes like cystic fibrosis and all. Then trauma, hypotension, that is shock, post-operative injuries, and miscellaneous. So most important causes are alcohol and gallstone. And then this third one is idiopathic, which most of them happen to be caused by by gallstone. So if you take like this, there's hardly few cases which list is so long, but their percentage is very small. That is others. So these are the etiological agents for acute pancreatitis. Now, how alcohol causes, this is 30 to 40% cases, and mechanism is not fully understood. How the alcoholism or alcohol intake causes of course, it doesn't occur in occasional drinker or those who are chronic alcoholic and take lot of alcohol daily. without a break, they are susceptible. Not all alcoholics get pancreatitis, only about 15%. This suggests a subset of population predisposed to pancreatitis. So that is that genetic predisposition with alcohol acting more as a co-precipitant. And when alcohol and smoking are combined, incidence of this acute pancreatitis increases. So exact cause of alcohol, mechanism of alcohol causing acute pancreatitis is not known. They say it causes the sphincter spasm or narrowing of contraction of sphincter. That's why there is a obstruction. Some say there is thickening of the pancreatic secretion, bicarbonate secretion is decreased. So, but exact mechanism we do not know, or whether it is a toxic effect of the alcohol, that is alcohol metabolites act on the pancreas and lead to acute pancreatitis. But we don't know the exact mechanism. And then gallstone is 35 to 60%. That's why I told you if you take both of these, alcohol and gallstone, they form the majority of causes of acute pancreatitis. And this is the highest among patients with small gallstone, not big one, because big one will not move and go to from gallbladder to the duodenum. It is a small one, that is a less than 5 millimeter. That will go and obstruct the common bile duct or sphincter or that ampulla of Vater. So remember the small, that is microlithiasis, less than 5 millimeter size of the gallstone are more dangerous. Now this is shown, see one small gallstone obstructing the ampulla of Vater. This is common bile duct, this is pancreatic duct, and this is the sphincter of Woody, papilla of Vater on that. This is the gallstone in the duodenum. Now coming to pathogenesis. Now what is the cause of this? Pancreas has got many digestive enzymes. They digest the protein, carbohydrate, fat. So all those enzymes, when they are liberated outside and they are activated, what they will do, they will cause damage, because pancreas is also, as I told you, flesh. Pan is all flesh. So that will be digested by the enzymes such as trypsin. This is a culprit, trypsin. This trypsin digests cellular membrane within pancreas and cause edema, interstitial hemorrhage, vascular damage, coagulation, and cellular necrosis. So trypsinogen converted trypsin, and that will lead to digestion of cellular membrane of pancreas, leading to edema, hemorrhage, blood vessel damage, clot formation, and necrosis of the pancreas. And this can lead to extension of localized process into generalized systemic inflammatory response. That it can lead to shock, acute respiratory distress syndrome, multi-organ system failure. That's why I told you it is a very acute emergency, acute pancreatitis, because not only pancreas is affected, the other organ which are affected, like all the organ, it may multi-organ failure, it may like corona. So this is a pathogenesis. This, to elaborate it further, you see, this is the pancreas. These are the three types of secretions here. One is that protein digesting, the other one is lipid digesting, then phospholipase is there, and they all cause different type of digestion of the fat, protein, and carbohydrate, of course, is not important, and they will lead to digestion of the whole pancreas. It is here more clear. Now, obstruction of pancreatic duct, drug toxin, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, hypertriglycemia, other causes, and all those alcohol and all that, they will lead to inflammation of parenchyma, hyponecrosis, bacteria infected necrotic pancreatic abscess, release of toxic metabolites, all this release of toxic metabolites in the blood, and that will cause all the shock and DIC and multiple organ failure, renal failure, pancreatic exudates, there is a formation of pseudocyst. So we'll come to that. Main purpose is the pancreatic enzymes like trypsinogen, trypsin, lipase, amylase. They are all released. Generally, they are secreted in the duodenal, in the pancreatic duct and brought to the duodenum and they get activated. Now here, the ducts are damaged by all those, whether obstruction or all. So this secretion cannot come out and there is back pressure. So there is ischemia. So they are released in the pancreatic tissue and they digest the pancreatic fat and protein and they cause the acute necrosis of pancreas, inflammation and necrosis of the pancreas. Now morphology. What are the gross features? The basic alteration is microvascular leakage causing edema. Blood vessel will become inflamed, so there will be leakage of fluid and that will lead to edema. There will be necrosis of fat by the lipase, as I told you. An acute inflammatory reaction will be there. Proteolytic destruction of pancreatic parenchyma by trypsin and other proteases, and destruction of blood vessel with hemorrhage. So there is destruction of blood vessel by those enzymes leading to hemorrhage. There is digestion of protein, that parenchyma, pancreatic parenchyma by proteolytic enzymes. Then there is a destruction, necrosis of fat by the lipase, and these things will lead to acute inflammatory reaction and leakage of fluid and blood outside the blood vessel like in acute inflammation, and that will lead to edema and congestion and all that. So the main thing is because of the pancreatic enzymes are released outside the duct, they will cause the necrosis of the pancreatic tissue and that will lead to inflammation also, and that in acute inflammatory response will lead to pancreatic edema, that will also lead to leakage of blood and that hemorrhagic appearance. So that is a gross morphology. Now morphologically, pancreatitis can be divided into mild form, acute necrotizing pancreatitis and hemorrhagic pancreatitis, 3 types. Mild form is only interstitial inflammation and edema. Focal area of fat necrosis, lipase will cause fat necrosis in pancreas and peripancreatic fat. So this is a mild form. There is only acute inflammation, edema, and there is a mild focal area of fat necrosis by the lipase. Then acute necrotizing pancreatitis, necrosis of pancreatic tissue, acinar, ductal, and islets of Langerhans, vascular damage causing hemorrhage. So that is called necrotizing pancreatitis. The whole pancreas gets necrosed and becomes a semi-solid, a liquid, sort of liquefied by the necrosis. And third type is hemorrhagic pancreatitis, when there is extensive necrosis accompanied by hemorrhage. So it is depending on the severity of acute pancreatitis. It can be mild form, it can be acute necrotizing pancreatitis, or it may be hemorrhagic form. These two only difference is in one lot of hemorrhage is there. The other only, of course, necrosis and other features of inflammation will be there. Now this is a fat necrosis on the surface of the pancreas. See these white, this soap formation, because lipase will break down the triglyceride, glycerol, and fatty acid will be released, and fatty acid will combine with calcium and it will form calcium soap. So these are the white, these are calcium soap, and that is fat necrosis caused by lipase on the surface of the pancreas. Here also, see the extensive fat necrosis. These are all fat globules and necrosis of the pancreas. This is again.
This presents similarly to pseudocyst.
This is again, these are fat necrosis. Hey, don't talk.
Very pancreatic axis.
This again you see the
but with the hallmarks of an infection, including high fever and high white blood cell count. Other complications of acute pancreatitis include serious bleeding or hemorrhage from a damaged blood vessel, which can quickly develop into hypovolemic shock. Another troubling complication is systemic activation of blood coagulation factors, or disseminated intravascular coagulation, or DIC, where tiny blood start to develop throughout the body, using up all of the clotting factors, which
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or there was some cross lecture going on. I don't know whose lecture was it. So these are all fat necrosis, is white soap. These are these is normal interstitial inflammation. This is a complete inflammation. This is whole thing is necrosed and देखो यार जरा वो बीच में खत्म हो गया था टाइम आप बोल दिया था
वो चल रहा है
चल रहा है
एक बार पूछिए
एक बार बीच में यही रह रहा है जरा अभी हाँ जाएगा so this is a normal pancreas, these are the necros and these are inflammatory cells, these are congestion. So that is acute pancreatitis. And what are the complications? Complications are many. As I told you, it may be very mild and it may be very severe and it may involve the multi-organ failure, adult respiratory syndrome and all that. So complication you have to divide into, now local complication are necrosis, pseudocyst formation, ascites, intraperitoneal hemorrhage, thrombosis, bowel infarction, obstructive jaundice. So these are the obstructive jaundice because of edema and swelling of the head of pancreas and blocking the common bile duct. Bowel infarction because of, as I told you, there is a DIC or there is a thrombosis. This thrombosis will lead to bile. Intraperitoneal hemorrhage, ascites, collection of blood, fluid in the pseudocyst, formation of cyst which is not a has got not no epithelial lining. That's why it is called pseudocyst and necrosis of the pancreas. It may be sterile necrosis or it may be infective necrosis. Now, systemic complication are pulmonary, cardiovascular, hematological DIC, cardiovascular hypertension, sudden death, pericardial effusion, pulmonary is pleural effusion, atelectasis with collapse of the lung, mediastinal abscess, acute respiratory distress syndrome, gastrointestinal peptic ulcer disease, PUD, peptic ulcer disease, erosive gastritis, blood vessel erosion, portal vein thrombosis, renal oliguria, azotemia means renal failure, different type of renal failure, oliguria, azotemia, renal artery vein thrombosis, and acute tubular necrosis. Gastrointestinal peptic ulcer disease, blood vessel erosion, bleeding and all that, pulmonary, that is effusion and collapse and acute respiratory, cardiovascular hypertension, sudden death, pericardial effusion, and hematological DIC when you all know what is DIC. So these are systemic complications, local complications. There are more systemic complications. Long term, chronic pancreatitis, that is a long term will be chronic pancreatitis, abdominal, that is characterized by abdominal pain, steatorrhea, that is a bulky stool, passage of bulky. So this is sign of malabsorption and not digested, food is not digested. Exocrine insufficiency, that pancreas secretions are less, so that there is shortage of digestive enzymes, diabetes mellitus, and pseudocyst. Pseudocyst lung. So coming to the complication, there are local complication, that is local necrosis of the pancreas, pseudocyst formation, ascites, collection of fluid in the peritoneum, collection of blood in the peritoneum, thrombosis of blood vessels in the abdomen, infarction of the intestine, and obstructive jaundice. So these are local complications. And then systemic complications are lung, heart, blood, GIT, renal shutdown, Gastrointestinal is peptic ulcer, gastritis, and portal vein thrombosis. Pulmonary, as I told you, effusion, collapse of the lung, and acute respiratory distress syndrome. Cardiovascular hypertension, death and pericardial effusion, and hematological DIC. So these are the local and systemic complications. And then long-term complication are chronic pancreatitis. And chronic pancreatitis leads to fibrosis and all that because of healing. And there is a pseudocyst formation, and there is diabetes mellitus. Now, what is a pseudocyst? It is a solitary 2 to 30 centimeter cyst in the abdomen. It is a liquefied area of necrotic pancreatic tissue which gets walled off by a fibrous tissue to form a cystic space. And the cystic space lacks the epithelial lining. That's why it is called pseudocyst. Any cyst to be called, it has to have a epithelial lining. It doesn't have, so that's why it is called pseudocyst. And what is it? It is liquefied, as I told you, necrosis of pancreas and liquefaction. That collection of that liquefied material, which is walled off by fibrous tissue. So this is a long-term complication, pseudoterm. And that is called pseudocyst. Drainage of pancreatic secretion enlarges the cyst. This cyst keeps on enlarging by the pancreatic juice secretion. Many resolve automatically, others get infected or perforate to adjacent organs. So that is a complication of the pseudocyst. May be infected, it may perforate in the, of course, treatment is that it is anastomose to the abdomen, the stomach. There is an anastomosis made between the pseudocyst as well as the stomach, so it drains into the stomach and then it collapses and then heals. So that is the treatment of pseudocyst. So pseudocyst formation is one of the important complication of pancreatitis. So this is a pancreatic pseudocyst. You can, these are kidney, this is the vertebra, this is a cyst, this is liver. So I have finished acute pancreatitis. So it is a very important from exam point of view as well as from the clinical point of view, and it is a acute abdominal emergency. And as I told you, etiology, pathogenesis, and complication and morphology. Now, morphology, etiology, I told you there are 5 groups. One is metabolic, which includes alcohol. Then mechanical, which includes gallstone. Then third is vascular, which includes hypotension and embolism, vascular embolism, thromboembolism, and polyarteritis. Then infection, that is viral mainly. And then last one was that one is idiopathic, and what was the other one? Anybody? 5 groups. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
So now again, I'll revise it. Acute pancreatitis, as I told you, it is an important subject from MCQ or even short SAQ. So 5 groups of etiology, that is metabolic, most important is alcoholism. Others are hyperlipidemia, hypercalcemia, drugs, and genetics. Mechanical causes, most important is gallstone. The other causes are trauma, cystic fibrosis, arterial injury caused by the procedure like perioperative injury or endoscopic procedure with dye injection. These are the iatrogenic injury. Iatrogenic procedures. So there is a, when there is operation of abdominal injury, that is called iatrogenic injury, pancreas. Any endoscopic procedure for removal of the stone or any surgery, laparoscopy, that will also lead to iatrogenic. So these are the most important gallstone. Third is vascular, that is hypovolemic shock or any shock, septic shock, embolism, atheroembolism, and polyarteritis nodosa. So these are the vascular causes. The fourth is infection. Infection is viral mainly, and that is mumps, Coxsackie, and mycoplasma. And idiopathic, I told you 10 to 15% are caused by this gallstone, small gallstone, which has passed the bile duct after obstructing the bile duct, and that's why there is no stone there, but acute pancreatitis is there, and we don't know the cause, so that is called idiopathic. Now, as I told you, the most of the cases are caused by the two things, alcohol and gallstone. Other causes is idiopathic, drugs, infectious agent, all those agents which I told you. Now, alcohol etiology, it forms 30 to 40%, and we don't know what is the mechanism. And if there is a smoking associated with it, it is a further increases the incidence. Then gallstone, less than 5 millimeter size of the gallstone, are that is called microlithias. They are the most dangerous. And these gallstones, because they cannot pass the common bile duct if there is large, they will remain in the gallbladder. Only small one will pass, and less than 5 millimeter are important. And this gallstone 35 to 60%. So if you see this 35 to 60% and 30 to 40% means 70 to 80% cases are caused by acute pancreatitis caused by these two agents. Now this is a diagram showing this ampulla of Vater, and here it is blocked by the small stone. Pathogenesis, I told you, it is because of blockage of the pancreatic duct or common bile duct, increased backward pressure leading to the release of the pancreatic enzymes into the pancreatic tissue and digesting the pancreatic tissue by proteolytic enzyme, by this fat digesting lipase, amylase, all these enzymes, when they are released and activated in the pancreas, they digest the pancreatic tissue. And also they cause saponification, calcium soap formation, that is fat necrosis because of lipase. And there is a lot of fat around the pancreas. So the pancreatic fat as well as fat around the pancreas, that is digested by lipase, and that will lead to formation of fatty acid and glycerol. Fatty acid will combine with calcium, form calcium soap. These are the three mechanisms which will release either whether vascular cause or infective cause or it is a metabolic cause. All that will lead to the activation of these enzymes, and that will lead to acute pancreatitis. Morphology, depending on the severity, I told you it can be mild form of pancreatitis, it can be acute severe pancreatitis, necrotizing pancreatitis, or it can be hemorrhagic pancreatitis. But what you will see in the pancreas, basic alteration is necrosis, proteolytic ingestion, digestion, destruction of pancreatic parenchyma, destruction of blood vessel, and necrosis of fat by lipase. So lipase, necrosis, proteolytic destruction, they will lead to other features. That is a acute inflammation causing edema, hemorrhage, all those things, destruction. So main thing is it is a digestion of pancreatic tissue by the enzyme activated secretions of the pancreas, self-digestion. And as I told you, there is a formation of calcium soap because of fat necrosis. Because acid release will cause, and this is necrosis of pancreatic tissue, and this is normal pancreas. Now coming to complications, local complications, necrosis of the pancreas, massive necrosis, pseudocyst formation, collection of fluid in the peritoneum, hemorrhage in the peritoneum, thrombosis of abdominal blood vessels, infarction of this thrombosis lead to infarction of bowel, and obstructive jaundice because of edema of the head of the pancreas will lead to obstruction of common bile duct. So that is a local complication, and then there are systemic complications, involvement of lung, cardiovascular, GIT, renal, as well as blood. That is, the blood is DIC. Cardiovascular is infusion, hypertension, and death. Pulmonary, of course, effusion, lung collapse, and acute respiratory distress. Gastrointestinal is blood vessel erosion, portal vein thrombosis, PUD, peptic ulcer. Renal is renal failure. So these are the systemic complication, then local complication, and then there is a chronic complication. Chronic complication is long-term complication, that is chronic pancreatitis. That will lead to diabetic mellitus and pancreatic insufficiency, steatorrhea, and abdominal pain. And then I told you what is the pseudocyst. It is a digested pancreas. It becomes semi-liquid or semi-solid, and that will get walled off by a fibrous tissue, and then epithelial lining, and it forms a cyst. So all the pulpy, that pancreatic liquid pulp will get walled off, and that will form a cyst without a epithelial lining. That's why it is called pseudocyst. And the pseudocyst, after pancreatic resolve, it also keeps on increasing in size because it communicates with the pancreatic tissue, and then pancreatic secretions keep on accumulating in it, and it enlarges in size. That's why treatment is sometimes it is automatically resolved, but you have to resort to surgery. And in surgery, what they do, they connect this pseudocyst to stomach, and it is drained into stomach. So that is a pseudocyst. So I have finished acute pancreatitis, and the whole GIT is finished. So there is no more lecture in GIT. You can ask any question about acute pancreatitis or anything else. Yes.
Sir, actually in pancreas, the enzymes are in form of zymogens. So how they get activated?
They get activated because they are exposed to this mainly it is a trypsin. What is the trypsin? No, trypsinogen is converted to trypsin, and zymogen is there in the inactive form, and then they get activated because of this blockage and increased pressure, and they leak out in the pancreatic tissue. Or if there is a inflammation of pancreas virus, they also release into the pancreatic tissue. So they are in a zymogen stage where so long as they are in a normal pancreatic duct. But if you see when they combine with the bile and all, the common bile duct, and generally this obstruction is at the ampulla of Vater. So this mixture of bile and all, they get activated by the enzymes. Anything else?